Hey guys, and welcome to Fix My Salon. We decided to help salon owners as best we possibly can. And one of the ways we did that is what if we just held a coaching session for you guys to jump on and ask a question that is stopping you from getting your salon to get you to that next level. So we have 4 emails that people have sent us that want answers because this is where they are stuck. So one of them, how do we find staff? I've been trying ages to find staff and I'm really struggling. The second one was um, my team are not respecting me anymore. I'm nagging them and they're just ignoring me. Third one, I can't seem to motivate my team to rebook and to sell retail. And the fourth one was retail. I've got a busy salon, but there never seems to be any money left over at the end of the month. So I'm going to try and help these 4 salon owners out. And hopefully, by helping them, we get to help you also. So I like to doodle a little bit when I work. So let me share my screen. Um, Beautiful. Let me share that. And just make sure that we can hide the video panel because we don't want any video panels in there because some people do like to keep their names a little bit secret, and that's fine. Happy for that. So if you want to use an alias, then we will. So the first one, the first question, we're going to help Claire, and she says staff is an issue, cannot find them. Now you might be in the same boat. And we have a lot of clients that we coach that really struggle with this. They really find it difficult to, um, there we go. They really find it difficult to find staff. And usually the issue is not about that they can't find staff. They're actually looking in the wrong place with the wrong message. So ideally, if we want to find a staff member, and this is where they are hiding, is usually we need to find out the first thing is who are they? So without knowing who they are, and then the second one is why should they work for you? And these are 2 big messages. And if you can answer this, then it gets much easier to find that person in the middle. Now, we've noticed over the last few years that usually stylists and therapists that are out there, they're sort of looking already. They've got like, they're working okay, they're doing really well. But if things go wrong in their salon, they start to look to move and they're searching for that ideal salon. And that means that this is really important. Why should they work for you? But for you, what's really important is who are they? And once we find that, it gets really easy. And we find the easiest way is to break this up into some sort of categories. And we always start all our clients with this if they struggle. And we have had people like there was one guy we did this for, could not find staff for 3, 4, 5 months, really struggling. So we planned this out for him and he got 7 replies within a week. Really quite simple. And I think it's really important. So let's start off with, let's say we have an 18-year-old to 20 years old. And then we have a 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and 50 plus. Now, I'm going to use a rule of thumb here and generalize quite a bit. But what we're going to try and figure out as we do this is all these people tend to want different in a job. So an 18 to 20-year-old, the question is, what does an 18 to 20-year-old want? Well, I think they want training, they want mentoring, and they want the KK moment, which I'll talk about in a second. A 20 to 30-year-old, they still want training. They probably want money. They probably want their KK moment. They probably want a little bit of realizing that they're growing and they're not just staying the same. 30 to 40, they may be thinking about buying a house. So they want money, enough for that. They may feel they want to be top of their game. So they don't necessarily want training, they want to be there by now. They might be thinking about having some children, so some time off. They might be thinking about coming back part-time. They may really want more of a lifestyle. they want to be able to balance between their their family life and their work life, have a really good balance. Yep. 40 to 50, they probably think they're already there. They probably want part-time or they want lots of money, depending on what type of salon you are. They don't want training. Don't retrain me, I'm already there already. And they just want to work and go home. And I think that mirrors very similar to someone who's 50 plus. So that's what they want in a job. So if I was going to write a job ad, if I was going to write a job ad for someone who is 18, I wouldn't speak about this. And if I was going to write a job ad for someone who is 20 to 30, I'd want to make sure that, I'm not talking about part-time, no training, lots of money. I'm going to talk about this. Now, one question you might be asking is, what is this KK that you're talking about? Well, the KK comes about because it's Kim Kardashian coming into your salon and saying, can I have my hair done by this particular person? They're brilliant. And they can go down the pub or they can go to the coffee shop or go and tell their family, you won't believe what's happened. Kim Kardashian's just came into the salon and asked for me to blow dry her hair. Bragging rights. Now, for most of you, I don't know what type of salon you've got, but Kim Kardashian coming into your salon is highly unlikely. So we have to figure out what is that. Well, I believe the Kim Kardashian moment, the bragging rights, is like hitting bonuses, the salon growing. So you've got to be able to find out how you can get that same bragging rights. So here's an example. In my salon, we used to have a set salon target. And on the Saturday, we used to literally high five everyone if we'd hit it. We would have 5 dials, which we still use today in our dashboard, something that we use in SAM. So the staff and the salon owner are united in one goal of getting the salon to go. We won this week. And these 5 dials are very important to our coaching program, but they're very, very important to anyone who wants that Kim Kardashian moment. It tells the team, we did it today, we won. And you can reward them with money, you can reward them with gift vouchers, you can reward them with prizes. There's a salon owner and a friend, Charlene in Australia. You might have seen the video on YouTube where she actually bought boobs for her team members. They had a boob job, and she actually flew someone business class from Australia to Europe because of that Kim Kardashian moment, that bragging rights. My boss has just paid me to fly. In my salon in Australia, we paid for 2 people to fly to Paris and to London and to come back again. And they decided not to take it. They decided to take the money and spend it on all the team. And they flew to Melbourne and went to the best hairdresser they could get and had a ball. That was their bragging rights. So you've got to have something that's bigger than a job. So, what is that Kim Kardashian moment? And that's what keeps your salon staying. In our coaching group, we have a really good structure that we don't necessarily just always give money away to our team. In one of our salons, we actually make their dreams come true. And that is their KK moment. And that keeps your staff members staying with you longer. So that's stage one, is figuring out very, very fast on here is, do you now know who you're trying to attract, who you work with? Do you like taking someone who's, straight from school, giving them all your skills and like breeding them to be like you? Do you want someone a little bit older that has some skills, maybe a bit rusty, maybe not as good as you, but you just a little few tweaks to get them to standard? Or do you want someone that just slots straight in, which means you don't care too much about systems in your salon? They don't want to be retrained. They just want to slot in nicely. You've got to decide. But what most salon owners are looking for is, I'm going to be this, let's see if I can do this or not. Terrible, terrible. Um, there we go. They want the goose that lays the golden egg. They want um, a stylist or therapist that makes lots of money, has a clientele, fully booked, and they're just going to come to the salon and slot in and make you loads of money. They don't exist. They're not going to happen. You're going to have to start here. Now, once we've got this, we now know what it is that that you're looking for, and we now know by doing this what we now know is what they want. So the question's quite simple. If I'm going to write an advert for someone who's 18 to 20 years old, I'm going to write about, you're going to have more than a job. You're going to do this. We're going to celebrate your wins. We're going to put you on a structure. We're going to put you on a training program. We're going to grow you to this. If I was going to have someone who's 20 to 30, my post will be completely different. It might be about, do you want to earn enough money to buy a house? Do you want to earn this? Do you want to grow your salon? Do you want to grow your column to be the best in the salon? Do you want to help the salon hit numbers? Do you want to help us get to the next level? Do you maybe want to train some of your team members? There'll be another criteria. Can you see the difference? And changing your post and changing, what it is that your criteria, it'll hit them. You see, they say that we get bombarded with 5,000 adverts a day, and our brain shuts off 4,300 of them so we don't get to see them. So the key here is to get seen is when you want to when you are previously looking for something you want. Like for example, if you're thinking about buying a new car and let's say you want to buy a Jeep Wrangler, suddenly you see Jeep Wranglers everywhere because you've got your brain looking for you. And that's the same. If you're thinking about looking for a job and you want something bigger than a job, or you want something with better training, or you want something with more money, you start seeing the posts that are speaking to you. So that is how we found very, very successful to get clients. There's a bit of a criteria in that because once you found them, you've got to find out where do they hang out, how do you interview them, and how do you go through the process. But that is a really good start to write how to find. So hopefully, Claire, that will help you out. Let me know, by the way, you sent this by email. Let me know on the email once you've seen this video. Um, Great. Next one. Staff not rebooking or recommending retail. Yep. So this was John, and he said, sorry, Jonathan, and he said, I can't get my staff to rebook or retail. No matter how much I nag them, they just don't do it. Well, the one thing that I got told many years ago was quite simple that it's like a magnet, and the more that you push, the more the magnet pulls away. So the more that you push your team to rebook, 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 the more they go, oh, I don't want to rebook, or retail, retail, retail. They won't do that. So I want you to picture, we have a 5-step client journey that we teach. Stage 1, the hello. Hey, how you doing, Mary? Stage 2, the consultation. Everyone knows that. We have a 6-step system that is really quite unique. Stage 3 is the upsell. How to give that client more than what they came in for. This is not selling, by the way. There's a difference. The upsell is different. Page 4 is called the show and tell. And stage 5 is did we please you today? And they pay. So they come in the salon and they leave the salon. Yep, very simple. There's a 5-step system that we work on. Now, when we find that people are struggling with rebooks and retail, I want you to picture this. Let me have a quick drink of tea. Let me picture this. A client comes into your salon. She sits down, you do the consultation. She's going to have some balayage, let's say, and off you go and you're balayaging away and looks really beautiful. And, you put some conditioner on, you sit her down, you cut it, you blow dry it. And she gets to the till. So I'm going to sneeze. Bless me. Thank you. Get to the till and you go, would you like to rebook, Mary? And would you like some products with that? Yep, that's usually what happens. Okay. And now the reality of this is that you've just popped up and said, do you like to rebook? No, thank you. Have you ever walked into a shop and they say, can I help you, sir? Can I help you, madam? And the first thing you say without even thinking, no, all right, thanks. We just programmed that way. So do you want to rebook? No, thank you. That's it. End of. Yep. Because, and then if someone says, oh, I might do, when do you want me to come back? Oh, do you want to book online? Or maybe 16 weeks. 16 weeks. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. Never mind 16 weeks. And that's why this never works. So you can nag your team as much as you want. You can nag your team that they must rebook and they must sell retail. And then 9 out of 10 times, they're going to feel awkward, they're going to feel icky, and they're not going to do it. They're going to say to you, I forgot. And they didn't forget, they just feel awkward. And so they should, because they are a hairdresser or they are a therapist. You know, they literally are there to make that client feel better. And you're pushing them into a salespeople. We don't want to sell. So, how do we get rebooks and how do we get retail sales? Well, it comes down to this. The consultation area, stage two, is where all the magic happens. So a client comes in and you say hello and sit them down. And by the way, there's a unique way to get 25% of new clients to return just by the way you say hello, believe it or not. Number two, the consultation. We have a 6-step system, really quite cool. I'm not going to go through it today because I haven't got time, but I will explain why rebooks are done at stage two. What happens at stage two is really quite simple. You set a seed. Yep, really simple. You say, for example, let's do a balayage person, an argument's sake. Alrighty, what balayage do you like? Oh, I want it this long. I want it brown. I want some highlights through the front. I want some highlights around the front. And I want it, medium browns, nice and blonde on the ends, let's say. Cool, not a problem. And you work your way through and you explain, got any problems? They say, yeah, it always breaks off, or it always looks greasy, or it always dry, or the color doesn't last, and the color always fades. Great. So you set the seed before you start, before you actually get to a place where you've done the job. And it's like, okay, not a problem. So I can do the balayage today. I can make you nice and blonde. I can put some foils through the top. I can give you some highlights. I can give you a blended feel. But the problem is, in about 8 weeks' time, it's going to fade. You have to come back, and you really should get your toner. Yeah. I'll do that. Yeah. Because they want it doing. Yeah. So you've set the seed already that they're coming back in 8 weeks' time. Cool, not a problem. You might also explain. They said it fades. Okay, so what shampoo conditioner are you using on your hair at the moment? Let's name a brand. And they turn around and they'll go, okay, cool. The one thing I do know that our brand is anti-fade. If you use ours, it will last a bit longer and it will definitely condition the ends. I've set a seed again. Cool, not a problem. Okay, not a problem. It's going to be £400. Shall we go ahead? Yes, please. Excited, and I am excited. This client is giddy as a goat. She is really, really happy, thinking that I'm going to make myself look beautiful. Right? So we've done the upsell already, by the way. That's already happened with ease, just because we're going through the motions of a good consultation. Now that's stage four. We call this the show and tell. Okay. Now the show and tell is all about you've done the foils, they're back at the chair, you're now cutting the bits off, you're showing them the color, and you've got the brush, and you're going to educate them. You're going to educate them to recreate this look at home. You'll tell them how to use the shampoo and conditioner. You will tell them how they blow dry. You will tell them how to apply the products. You will also tell them when the color is going to fade. 8 weeks, remember? Great. So what have we done again? We've set the seed. So by now, they've been in the salon for 2.5 hours or more. We've talked about rebooks. We've talked about products. We've shown you the products. We've shown you how to use them. We've told you how often you need to do them. We're helping you blow dry. We're showing and educating you how to do it. And we're telling you when we need to return. And we've set 2 more seeds. These are linked together. So what do you think happens now when we get to the till and you've showed the lady the back of their head, you've told her what products to use, you've told her what to do when she returns. What do you think happens at stage 5? So Jonathan, I haven't even answered that question, but I'm sure you can see what's going on. You don't need to nag your team to do more rebooks. You never need to nag your team again to sell retail. What you need to do is make sure they do their job correctly. Because if they do the consultation correctly, if they then educated that client, once that client gets to the till, we just finish off the sentence. We've already said you need to come back in 8 weeks. We've already told you what products you need to buy. We've then showed you the products, educated you on the products, explained why you got to come back in 8 weeks again. So what do you think happens at stage 5? Yeah, Jonathan, all we do is we just go through the motions at stage 5 and we just rebook that person in 8 weeks. Is this date okay for you, Mary? Yes, it is. Okay, here's the products we recommend. Which one of these are you taking with you today? No hard pressure. So your nagging should be about doing their job. Your nagging should be, I want all clients to go through a full consultation. I want all clients educated how to use any product that you're recommending on them. I want you to recommend when that client is due to come back. I want you to educate that client when that hair is going to start looking bad. Can you see the difference between the two? You're now not a money hungry monster that they think you are. You're now, I want my clients treated better. I want my clients to be looked after. I want my clients to feel special. Different type of nagging. And it's just about that client journey. It's a great piece. When I mastered that in my salon, it made all the difference. And we built a module on that purposely because that is so important, every single bit, to figure out exactly how to do that. And that's how you sell more retail in your particular salon. All right, next one. Let's move on to the next one through here. Okay. This is might resonate with some of you. Okay, this is Lucy's staff member late often. Yep. So got a staff member and they are running late. And they always run late, as in late to the salon. Um, and your job is, of course, to beat them up, lock them in the back room, and say to them, don't you ever be late to my salon ever again. Well, let me tell you something. If you have a staff member that is continually late, sometimes I found that maybe they're a little bit time blind. So they need to know it's important. So I have a really good way of dealing with this. It came from a book called One Minute Manager, really cool book. I'm going to give it to you in 60 seconds. Praise, of course, when things are good, and nip in the bud fast when things are not. So you've decided that you would open a salon and you were going to be this salon owner that opened up and decided to be a leader. And I think a lot of salon owners don't know how to lead. And I think the key to this is that they're friends with the people they work with and they feel they can't tell them off and then go for a drink of wine with them on a Friday night. Very awkward. So what I decided to do was quite simple. I told everyone I have to wear many hats as a salon boss. Sometimes, my job is to keep that salon running smooth. And sometimes I've got to put my boss hat on, and sometimes I've got to put my Richard hat on. And I would like to spend all day with the Richard hat on. But sometimes you guys are going to fall short. And when you do, I'm going to have to put the boss hat on. Is that okay? And they're going to say yes. So we do this when we employ them, or we do them when you decide you're going to do this big speech, which could be today. And then what we do is quite simple. When they're late, I say, hey, can I have a quick chat? And they'll go, yes. And I take them into the back room. And there's just me and them in there. Please do it private. And okay, most of you guys are on some track. Do nots. Oh, and do's. Let's start with the do nots. I don't know why. This used to be me. I'm sure it's you. I wanted to find out Why? Why are you always late? Why are you disrespecting me? Why are you disrespecting the clients? Why can't you just get up early? Why? And do you know what I got back when I used to get whys? Whys equals lies. And you just always, why are you late? Oh, my dog ate me shoe. We missed the bus. I won't say I got up late. I went to bed late last night. I couldn't sleep because of X, Y, and Z. Whatever it is, you ask for whys, you are going to get lies. And it's something that I really took me a long time to get over. Once I read this book, I realize it. Do's, right? Don't ask them why. Tell them they're falling short and get out. This is what I realized worked really well. So, um, hey, Steve, you got a quick chat in the back room? Oh my God. He knows he's getting told off for being late. I know I'm going to tell him off for being late. Everyone in the salon knows he's being told off being late. Great. Hey, Steve, you're late again today. I really need you here before the clients. Do you think you can do that? Yeah, great. Okay, mate. I don't want to have this chat with you again. He now knows it's important. He now knows about the chat. That is enough. If you want to soften it, hey, Steve, everything okay with you? Yeah, why wouldn't it be? No problems at home? None at all. Cool. So there'll be no problem tomorrow you getting in on time then, will there? No. Okay. End of, move out of the way. If it's repeated, you can then start going down the process if you need to. But the reality of this is we end up getting ourselves into a big fat fight over something that we just need to say, stop being late. It's unfair on the team. Full stop. Last question, of course. This is from Andrea. Andrea said, I have a busy salon. Takings are good, but I have no money at the end of the month. Help, which is what she said. This might resonate with a lot of people. It resonated with me. I remember having a really busy salon, and I remember best year ever, absolutely storming. And I sat down in my accountant's office, and he said, "What a great year!" And I went, "Yeah, thanks, great year." He went, "Yeah, you've had such a good year. You're the tax man, 50 grand." And I went, "What? I haven't got 50 grand." He went, "You just earned it." I went, "I haven't earned it." He went, "You've earned it." I said, "I haven't earned it." He went, "You've earned it." Where's it gone? Where has the money gone? And that might resonate with you. The reality is, if you have no money left over, something is wrong. Now, I don't know about you, but mostly, hopefully, if you've got a really, really good business, your wage bill will be about 30%. So about a third. That's about a quarter, isn't it? Let's do you probably a third, maybe. A third. All right, let's do that. A third is a wage bill. And then hopefully 10% of that will be stock. And then about 22% will be bills, a little bit of VAT, and then this will be your profit. Oh, and rent. That is what a business should look like. You should have everything that goes out around here, and then you should have profit that goes here. Yep, and that equals 100%. The problem we have is that we have salons that have a wage bill that's bigger than 50%. We have stock that's at 20%. We still have VAT at 20%, and we still have bills at 22%. And then we have rent. And then you end up with your profit being only this little big. And that's why a salon can be really busy because they're exactly the same. Yep. This particular salon can have 100 clients a week with an average bill of 50. This can have 100 clients a week with an average bill of 50. And the difference being is the setup in the background. It means that having exactly the same amount of staff, it can break down the fact that, they're not productive, the staff are dragging it out, the staff aren't charging enough. I've seen so many appointment books where people are just dragging out the services, which is eating away at the profits, and it's unsustainable with a salon's wage bill over 50%. So 9 out of 10 times, if you don't have enough money left over, you don't have enough clients. That means your staff are unproductive. That means that there's something wrong with your timing and your pricing. And that means, if that's the case, it'll result in a wage bill that is higher than 50%. And it doesn't matter how big you grow, it doesn't matter how many staff you get, you will always be stuck here. When we started coaching many years ago, because when I was buying my second, third, fourth, and fifth salons, I didn't buy them, by the way, when I was looking to buy them. What I noticed was the wage bill was too high. The clients didn't go up, but the wage bill did. And we realized that most people were unproductive. Picture this, if this salon has a 30% wage bill, there's a good chance people are doing 3 times what their bill is. If this is a 60% wage bill, they're not even doing 2 times. And most of this is hidden in reception, manager, and juniors being unproductive. Not enough chefs in the kitchen to pay for the servers that are dishing out the food. It's a bit of a balance. Can you imagine if you had 15 chefs and 1 server? It wouldn't work. Or 1 chef and 15 servers, it wouldn't work. We have to have a balance to make it successful. So the biggest problem we see when we set a busy salon, because it feels busy, is probably the fact is that you're not hitting target, you don't have enough clients, your staff are maybe dragging it out, they're unproductive, and we need to get some timings right. Or we need to have more clients in the salon. Our coaching business that we made was built on this for a reason. We built a coaching program to take salons from wherever they are over to a lifestyle salon. And we did this because they had 3 huge problems. And the problems was the fact that they didn't have enough money. The problem was that they didn't have a good culture. Their team wouldn't work for them. And they could never be free. They were always continually busy. And if you want to watch a video of how we fix this, all the stuff that we put into place to make sure that their business gives them more money, that builds a great team, that gives them the freedom from the salon, you'll see a connection in this video at the bottom. Go and click on it and go and see how we wrote the lifestyle salon plan to show you where you are on your journey right now and to see how you can change things in your business to get the 3 biggest elements correct. Because that is one of the hardest things as a salon owner, is to get your salon to that lifestyle level. Way too many people are stuck in what we call the war zone, where they're working hard and every single day is a battle. Every single month is a battle. And every year just drains you even more. And we figured out it's small little things executed very well, foundation building, that takes that salon to the next level. Right now, when this video is made, we coach over 80 salons in the lifestyle plan. And out of the top ones that are doing exceptionally well, the only difference between them and the salon owners below them is that they've been with us for a while and they've built the foundations and they are super strong. They have good rebooks. They have good amount of new clients. They have good client retention. They have good average bill. they have good growth. And it's all these little things implemented together that builds that salon as it cogs itself in. It makes things move all the way in the right direction. So if you're interested to check out what we do, there'll be a link below this video. Go and grab this video. So hopefully for the 4 salon owners that wrote in today, we've answered their problems, and maybe you've got one of their problems at the moment that we've answered that for you too. And hopefully that's good and we've done our job today. If you want to check out further, there's a few links below here. Hopefully you'll go and check out the lifestyle salon plan and see how we help salon owners grow their businesses. Until then, I'll see you next week. Bye for now.